Are you ready for a good chat? Go on and tune in to the Go On Men podcast. It's your place to go with your host, David GSA Wrestling, and co-host, Ryan Iconic Shadows.
We're back with the Go On podcast, episode 35, I think. We've lost track, bro. We've lost track. I'm your host, David GSA Wrestling.
And I'm your host, Ryan Iconic Shadows.
I was so waiting for you to say. I was like, please just say something. We've done too many, bro. This is gonna be quite an in-depth podcast. So if you don't want to listen to an in-depth podcast, tune the fuck off now. We're gonna be talking about social issues and like the perception of society, and it's gonna be an in-depth one where like we'll probably bounce back and forward on shit that we want to talk about. So if you're not into it, then you might want to tune off.
Go through an episode they haven't watched yet or something.
Yeah, or fucking just go replay one from last week. Or wait till next week. Like, it's going to be one of those where we talk about socially problems, like, wife, like, the problems were as a bloke to women and all that shit. So it's going to be an in-depth one, so enjoy. We can start with the thing that came to my head with it was, like, obviously, as a guy, we have to be strong alpha people. We're not allowed to be like, and what I mean by that is, before I dig myself a hole, is like, women are more prone to come out with like, they've been abused by a guy, or they've been harassed by a guy, or they've been mentally abused by a guy. Would you say? It's more acceptable. It's more acceptable if a guy says it, he's a pussy. If a guy turns around and says, my wife beat me up, like, society doesn't accept that because a woman's not as powerful as a man, or a woman is not as like thing. But like, it might not be physical abuse; it could be mental abuse. I watched an episode of The Rookie, and they sort of explained that a guy, if he's a big guy in a unit, he's not going to admit that a little scrawny woman beats the shit out of him. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's true, because like, as a guy, we're not going to go, oh, I get beat up by my wife, she's 2'2". Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just not going to happen. But like, it's more acceptable for a woman to say, oh, I got raped, I got fucking abused, I got fucking harassed, it's more acceptable for a woman to do it. But when a guy does it, it's sort of backhanded by the police, or backhanded by society as a general, to be like, oh, well, do you know what I mean? Is he telling the truth really? Or is he just full of shit? Right? Any thoughts?
Right, I see what you mean, because like, there's things that, generally speaking, if a female says it, people will look into it more and like understand it a lot more than they used to. Whereas males feel like it's flipped in a way, where it's just not, like, people just don't believe it, and I feel like men's mental health is just forgotten about.
I feel like it's also on top of that. It's like fucking like, I've been pushed into a wall by a woman, but I'm not going to go report it to the police because I'm not going to, like, they're going to go, the size of you got pushed back by a woman. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're just not going to believe it. So like, you suffer in silence rather than admitting to shit. It's like, and I was on about this with like dating the other day, and like how dating should change now from when we was like younger. Like, as a guy, back in the day, the reason guys played for meals is because they got paid more money than women. Where women get paid equal money that the guys get paid now. So that makes that initial, like when women say, guy, if you're a gentleman, you play for the first date as a guy. Like, it's now less acceptable because women get paid the exact same. The whole reason that guys paid for the first date is because guys always got paid more than women did back in the day. And like, as society, it's changed forward. Like, women get paid equal rights, women get equal votes. Women, like, you're talking like when we was like fucking 1980s, when women were getting paid less and women didn't have the right to vote and women didn't have this. Like, it's all changed. Society has changed over time, and like, now the society that we live in, women have as many rights as a guy does. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We could go on to the racist thing as well. Like, how racism, like, and like, it's a touchy subject because like most people, like Caucasian people, won't talk about racism because we don't want to get put as, you're racist, get cancelled. You're racist, get cancelled. You know what I mean? Like, it's the cancel culture of like, oh, well, you're a racist bastard. We're not. what we're saying is, like, if you go to America, I understand Black Lives Matter, I understand the rights and the walk, and I appreciate what they do in America. I think it's bullshit in the UK. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't get cops shooting black people in the UK. You don't get them shooting any people in the UK. No offence, like, Britain's probably the least people who get fucking shot. You've never gone on news, unless, like, it's been a terrorist attack and they've shot a Muslim person who was going to blow something up. Do you know what I mean? Like, other than that, you don't see it really. Someone's been shot in the UK. It's very rare. It's more people shooting people in the UK. Like, you know, like in Liverpool, gun violence is a lot more than probably London. Or maybe it's just that I live near Liverpool, and obviously I know more gun culture in the UK. Like, you know what I mean? But, like, you don't really hear a lot about police have been abusive. And, like, I get why Americans do it, and I support what happened in America with the march. I feel like racism to that extent is not acceptable by any standard. Do you know what I mean? Like, to shoot a person due to the colour is fucking disgusting. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it definitely is, yeah.
And, like, I'm 100% with the Black Lives Matter culture in America, and I stand by that. If even me, that is, like, Caucasian, I think it's bullshit. Do you know what I mean? But, like, when they was trying to rip statues down in the UK and shit, I get that, like, in the past it might have been more acceptable. Like, to this modern day, they're ripping down statues, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what? Like, they was on about they wanted to take the statue down of, the guy, Winston Churchill.
Yeah.
They wanted to rip his statue down because he was a slave trader and all this. And I'm like, bro, that was the time. That was then, though. Do you know what I mean? He'd probably be like a lot of the other people now, but back in the day, that was acceptable. It's not now. And I get, like, you can be pissed off about it, but the same point is, you're in, like, we're British as a nation. Do you know what I mean? We're a British nation. Like, we took over loads of countries back in the past. Like, the British nation is tiny now compared to what it was years ago. Do you know what I mean? We own most of the, like, fucking, the majority of some of the countries, you know what I mean? But, like, times have changed, and I get that you could be pissed off about it, but you don't need to rip a statue down that represents the person because of what they've done in the past. Do you know what I mean? I get, like, the one who was a slave trader, rip that fucking thing down, take it down. You know what I mean? Yeah. Take it down. But Winston Churchill, we'd all be speaking German if it wasn't for Winston Churchill. The UK wouldn't be the UK. You know what I mean? Like, the Nazi regime would have got further on if he didn't make the decisions he made. You know what I mean? Yes, you can be pissed off about what he believed in or what he did, but you've also got to look at the things he's done that positively affected change in this country, or positively, because if you rip that statue down, how many people went and laid their lives down for this country and for Winston Churchill, and, like, you know what I mean, and, like, the decisions he made. Like, you're ripping down a part of history by doing that. Whereas the slave trader, rip his fucking statue down. Do you know what I mean? I don't care. I think Winston Churchill was the point where I was like, you're pushing it too far. Do you know what I mean? I don't get me wrong, I don't agree with... Who was the guy who was fucking running... Was it Robinson or whatever his name is? The guy who was going running around saying white power and all that shit. Who was that? The dipshit who's been arrested more times than I can count.
Yeah.
You know what I'm on about, don't you? I think it's Robinson. Like, he's a fucking moron.
Yeah.
Like, shoot him. Feel fucking free. Like, he's a dick. But, like, I don't see colour. What I see is, like, a person and a personality. And, like, if I don't get on with you, it's nothing to do with colour or race or anything. Because some of my friends have been black, some of my friends have been white, some of my friends have been fucking Caucasian. Not Caucasian, sorry, Asian. You know what I mean? Like, I've got loads of friends of different heritage. I've never been a person that's judged a person on race. Because I don't think that's right. I judge a person on the way they are, rather than being, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, because, like, the thing is, you could judge me because I'm Caucasian. Do you know what I mean? Like, I seen a video the other day, and it was quite funny, like, you know, when he was like, and it was like, the way he came up with the song, I thought it was hilarious. Black people wouldn't have thought it was funny, I thought it was funny, because it was like, he's like trying not to be racist because I'm a privileged white man. You know what I mean? And like it was funny, but at the same time I'm like, yeah, you couldn't say that to him, but you know what I mean? But like, I feel like racism, it's like sexual orientation. You like, and this is a thing that I have with Catholic. This is why I'm a Christian. I believe in God. I believe in like, you know what I mean, an afterlife. But I also see the bullshit behind it. You know, where they're like, oh, you can't be gay because that's going against God. Bullshit. Because you said, right, and this is me being, I don't know, are you religious, Ryan?
No.
See, this is where I'm going to have to go beyond on it. Religion goes as follows. Treat every person with respect and morals, and be treating people like the way you want to be treated. Right? So why the fucking shit is it such an outrage for another man to love another fucking man, but then you're in the own right going, you need to respect people's choices?
Well, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's the most retarded fucking thing I've ever heard. Like, if he wants to shove a fucking thing up his ass, let him shove a thing up his ass. Do you know what I mean? Like, if she wants lesbian up, let her lesbian up. It's her choice, it's her body, it's her life. Let her do what the fuck she wants. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't judge people by sex. I don't judge people by fucking race. I don't judge people by. I'm very like, I'm Christian to a like. And I went to school. I went to Catholic school. I went to church every fucking week. I don't now, probably because of the bullshit you have to listen to. I went to Sunday school. I did all that shit, but I also have a spin-off. It's like the other day I was watching some guy who's a religious person. He's like, Venom's making you believe in the devil. And I'm like,
but
bro,
you're like bollocks.
I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like, relax. Like, it's not that deep. It's a fucking it's a fucking cartoon that got made into a movie. If you listen to, Thor is teaching you about the North gods. If you're a Christian, you should not watch it. It's again, fuck off. Do you know what I mean? Like, no offense, like, bro, I get what you're saying. I get like, oh, there's only one god. Well, then it's a fictional fucking thing, not a factual thing, you fucking moron. Do you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck are you on about? Like, you either got it one or two ways. It's either fictional or factual, right? There's not like, oh, well, this is racist, this is this is that, this is that. No, it's a fucking cartoon that was made into a fucking movie. Relax. Like, I was like, bro, I commented underneath, like, idiots like you need to be fucking shot. Like, seriously, like, you're a fucking moron. Do you know what? I've said this since day one. I want, you know, one of these religious people who come to your door. Oh, what are they called? Joseph Witnesses.
Jehovah's Witnesses. Yeah.
I want one of them fuckers to knock on my door because I'm gonna mind fuck the little prick. Like, I'm gonna physically and mentally abuse the cunt, and I'm gonna love every minute of it. Right. Get where I'm going with this, right? You believe it. If you believed in God, right? You believe that we all stemmed from Adam and Eve, right?
Right.
So if your wife is from Eve or Adam, and you're from Adam and Eve, is that not your cousin?
Yeah, it's a little bit weird, isn't it?
Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, they're like, it's Adam and Eve, it's like Adam and Steve. Well, there must have been more than Adam and Eve, or we'd all be fucking our cousins. You'd have cousins. What the fuck are you on about? Like, you're there saying we're not all inbred. We all are, if that's the fucking statement you want to go down. Do you know what I mean? Like, where do you draw the fucking line? I can't wait for some job. Please knock on my door. Like, I know, like, my door's quite situated to the back of the house, but please knock on my door. I just want to mind fuck you for half an hour. I want to see you try and dig out that fucking hole, me. But no, I feel like, what's your feelings now on dates? You know, like, if you got, obviously you're married, so you can't go on a first date anymore. But like, when you and your missus went on your first date, did you pay for the meal, or did you both pay for the meal?
I think it's either that I paid for it or we shared it. I can't remember. A while ago now.
Have you seen the running joke online?
What?
Where it says, pay the bill in full or split the check. And the guy turns around to the woman and says, I'm getting the internet. She goes, no. So he splits the check. Like, that's funny. Like, it is ironic. But, like, fucking, I feel like maybe it's the gentleman in me that says I should pay for the first meal. But I think that's because I was brought up by my granddad, and, like, my granddad was quite old-fashioned, and he instilled old-fashioned views on me. But, like, I see why most people are like, we should split the check on the first date. because we're both all paid even paid now. You know what I mean? It's quite an old-fashioned terminology to pay for the first meal or to fucking, you know what I mean? I don't know. Do you know what? Society's weird because like we've moved forward so much, but we've moved back so much as well. Do you know what I mean? Did you hear the bullshit about that the church was only made to make people fucking believe in something? I heard that one. That was funny. That like the Pope came up with God. And I know this is sacrilege because I'm a religious believer. Do you know, right? If you think about religion's weird because I'm Church of England, so I believe in God, but I believe in like divorce. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if you look back why the Church of England was made, because King Henry VIII wanted to get divorced, but the Catholic Church wouldn't let him get divorced, so he decided to make his own church. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, and you know, loads of people have died, and this is the disgusting thing. Loads of people have died for that because of that split. Like, because King Henry VIII went, nah, fucking, I'm going to make my own church. Loads of people died for years because that one person made one decision. It's like what's happening now at the minute with Russia and Ukraine. Because of one pig-headed little prick, punting, by the way, dickhead, made decisions to push and try and take over the country. There's millions of people, thousands of people died in there. Because some dickhead went, do you know what, I want to have bigger bollocks than you. Yeah. Oh, I know what we can talk about. I know what we can talk about right now. Have you heard about fracking?
Yeah.
What do you think on it?
What do I think about fracking?
Yeah, you know what fracking is, don't you?
Yeah.
Where they dig into the ground and get fossil fuel out the ground.
Yeah.
And apparently it makes earthquakes and it's unstable and all this shit. But apparently they're going to reactivate it in the UK. Apparently we're going to get fracking again back in the UK. I'm fine as long as it doesn't affect the natural flow, like of water or fucking like it, as long as it doesn't affect the ground that we grow our food on, or the water it contaminates the water. I'm fine. If it affects the environment, it shouldn't be done.
Yeah.
If it causes an environment crisis, then it shouldn't be done. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, if we're gonna be to do it, then we need to also look at new sources of dealing with the problem in like a different you know what I mean? So like, it's okay to push it as like, fucking, we need to do it for keep our carbon footprint going or whatever. But like at the same time, we need to look at other energy resources to like so that we don't need to rely on it further down the line. By the way, you do know we're only one solar flare away from the planet getting destroyed. We're making all these decisions, but like, if one solar flare happens, we're all dead. Have you not seen The Knowing? I swear to God, I need to stop watching films. Have you not watched The Knowing?
I'm not sure.
Fucking Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
He basically, it's about a time capsule that gets put. I'm not spoiling it because this film's been out years. It's a time capsule gets put in the ground, but a little girl writes loads of numbers. Nicolas Cage is like the protagonist in it, and like he finds these numbers and like puts a glass on it, and it makes like a ring around, and then he like bridges the numbers together, and it's like date, time, you know, like year, date, year, month, or whatever. You know what I mean? And then fucking. Or maybe it's the other way around. See, Americans do it weird. We do day, then month, then year. They do month, then year, date, then year. Do you know what I mean? They do it so. It's so weird. Anyway, and then it says how many people died on that day. And like, I think it was 9/11, 2,996 people died. And that's what the first thing he sees is that like the night, the 9/11, you know, year. And he looks it up and it's true. And then he starts breaking it all down, and it's all like fucking. Like all the things he's writing down, and like the date, the hour, the time, you know what I mean? And literally how many people died. But then he can't work out, you know, what the other numbers are for. It's longitude and latitude of it. Anyway, the last one is like, everybody's going to die on the world. Right?
Right.
Alright. But I thought to God then. He went too quiet for too long. So like the last one is like everybody else is gonna die. Because basically there's a solar flare that's gonna happen. Like the sun is gonna like burst out like a solar, like a hot streak, and it'll blow the atmosphere around the world and destroy the whole Earth. And that's how the film ends.
You're quite big news.
And listen, I love shit like that. You know, where it's like, like when they said 2012 was going to be the last year because we're going to get like a fucking earthquake and it's going to destroy the whole entire planet. Did you not watch that? Is it just me that watches weird shit?
You do watch weird shit, David. Let's be fair.
Yeah, I like theories where like the planet's going to end and how it's going to end. Like War of the Worlds. You must have watched War of the Worlds.
Yeah.
The same shit. That's just like a different theory of how the world's going to end. That we're going to get took over by aliens. Do you know what I mean? It's the same shit, just that like fucking figure. It's like do you know what they say? Like the population of the Earth is going to kill the Earth before the Earth kills itself. You know, because we populate that much and have that many kids and that many different. So like for every person that has a kid, they always have like 2 or 3 kids.
Yeah.
So our population goes up every year by about 30. I think it's like 60 to 70,000 people, and they say like we can't produce enough food for the amount of people that live on this planet. You know, because of how many kids there is every year.
Really bastards.
No, but that's what they're saying. You know, because like no, but if you think, say there's like, it might even be 600,000 kids. Say 600,000 kids are born every day. You know, I would say every year. Right, so that's 500,000 people every year are born on this planet.
Yeah.
There's only so much Earth on this fucking planet. Do you know what I mean? A lot of the fucking world is covered in water. Do you know what I mean? And that's what they say. Like at some point, it's like have you watched? You must have watched Torchwood.
Yeah.
You know the one where they like said they want to send the human kids off to fucking with the aliens.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they say that like fucking it would help the population and all this shit. Do you know what I mean? I know it's one of those. It's a weird one. It's a weird one. Anything else you want to talk about my society or society problems?
Um.
I know we've got a good one coming up because there's a team that there was something Ray wanted to talk about and I wrote it down weeks ago. And Ray's probably forgot what the fuck it was because he told me weeks ago. We'll probably do it on the next one because it's going to be a proper breakdown fucking one. It was the Pokemon, the Pokemon suggestion you made.
Oh right.
Yeah. Where you said like, what did you want to make as a champion? What would you pick as your champion team?
Yeah.
We could do that on the next one. Anything else you want to add to society and problems in society?
No, I think so.
How about the fuel crisis?
Well, mate, I work at a petrol station. I never hit the end of it. Just meaning.
Yeah, it's all you hear about is fuel, energy. Do you know what? And my mum said this. We was talking about the Russian war and stuff. And she went, considering we just come out of fucking COVID, and we're just dealing with the problem of COVID. Like, he's a prick. Like, we're just coming back to normality, and the bastard starts a war.
Yeah.
Like, he could have waited a couple of years and then started. But it's because he's so greedy. It's because he's greedy. And he knows, like, see, Ukraine is in a weird position at the minute because he was meant to be joining the EU, and then they come under the defence of NATO. But because NATO can't get involved because they're not part of the EU, they have to stand there on the sidelines and let it happen. But they can't give them weapons, you know what I mean? That's not against the rules, giving them weapons. But we can't physically get involved, in the war. Because as soon as we do, we're causing a world war. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you've got on the borders like Poland or fucking... By the way, do you know they nearly hit... do you know we nearly ended up starting a war the other day?
Did we?
I think it was a couple of days. It might have been the last couple of weeks. Russia shot a rocket and it nearly went into Poland.
Really?
And if it got into Poland, it would have kicked off. If it got into the borders of Poland at any point and hit any part of Poland, it would have been World War.
So
That's how close. That's how close we was to being at war with Russia. I think it was a couple of millimetres short of being in a war with Russia. Yeah. This is where you know it's fucked, that like we're just sat on the edge of our seats waiting for the war to kick off. So, yeah. Interesting. Anything else? War related? I think we're done. No, I can't think of anything society wise. We've taught the majority of society problems. I feel like covered quite a bit. I don't think there's anything else. I'm trying to think.
My brain's sitting, to be honest. I can't be asked to talk about things like this at this time in the morning.
No, I've got nothing. Right, this has been the Go On Then podcast. Ryan is knackered, as you can tell. It is like 7 a.m. at morning. Ryan's been up all night. I woke up like 2 hours ago. So yeah, thank you very much for listening. I'm gonna go get all this shit edited and put it up on the podcast channel. So you should get them all coming up in the next couple of hours. Thank you very much to Ryan, and this has been your host David G SA Wrestling.
This has been your host Ryan Iconic Shadows.
We hope you have a lovely day, and we'll see you all very, very soon.
See you soon, bye.
Did you enjoy our little chat? If so, why not drop a like? And if you want to see more, why not hit the subscribe button?